Why does nobody talk about this part of Scotland? While thousands of people head north through the Highlands every year, many never stop to explore Easter Ross and the Tarbat Peninsula. As I continue my journey around the entire coast of mainland Scotland, I'm about to discover a part of the country that's rich in history, local character, and stories that deserve to be told. From ancient Pictish stones and dramatic landscapes, to local businesses, unexpected encounters, and life in the Highlands today, this is a side of Scotland many people never get to see. Well, good morning everyone, and I am excited for today. If you've been watching this series as I drive around the entire coast of mainland Scotland, you'll know that I left you off last week at the amazing Black Isle, and what a few days I had there. It was absolutely superb. And I also mentioned that I would need to drive back down the road and leave the road trip to host my group adventures across to the Isle of Arran. They went so well, and to all of you that have signed up for my adventure wait list for future dates, thanks very much. The link to that is in the description. But we had such an amazing weekend, 2 different groups on the Saturday and the Sunday, and I will definitely be organising more this year and next year, and hopefully some other activities and places as well, maybe some wild camps and things like that too. But I've just driven back up the road, got to Inverness. I've stopped at the tour services. Their LPG is now fixed, so I've topped up my gas, which was great. I didn't actually need it, but I take every opportunity to top it up whenever there's an LPG pump. So that was handy. Grabbed myself a coffee and a sandwich just to see me through what we're going to be doing today. And this is the first time really we're going to be going into Easter Ross. First 2 things I'm going to do today, they both involve a bit of a walk, but I've never been there before. So I'm really excited for today, and if this weather holds, I've looked at the weather report. I mean, it's nice just now, but it is a bit interchangeable. We're looking at rain this afternoon, and in fact for the next week or so there could be a bit of rain as I make my way further north towards Caithness. And for those of you that are new here, I'm David, the Scottishmaninavan. I've been living in my van now for over 3.5 years, spent most of my time in Scotland. But welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy what you watch, and if you do, please remember to hit the subscribe button and never miss a weekly episode. I have new episodes every single Sunday night as I continue my journey around the entire coast of the mainland. And if you want to catch up, the link to the playlist is in the description of this video. It is in order, and you can choose whether or not you want to watch them from oldest to newest or newest to oldest. It's entirely up to you. And lastly, just a huge big thanks to everyone that has bought me a Guinness on my Buy Me a Coffee page in recent weeks. I'm saving it up just now to buy some more, well, to either buy a new camera that I'm waiting on coming out or something else, because as you know, any contributions from the Buy Me a Guinnesses always goes back into the creation of this content for you all to enjoy. Anyway, it's time to enjoy this drive to Eventon. That's me packed up. I'm just going to have a quick bite to eat that sandwich that I got from the tour services. Sandwiches are pretty good actually. Get something in the belly before I go on this walk. I think this walk's around about an hour and a half maybe. There or thereabouts. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like a really cool place. And you maybe noticed from last week, oh, my bedding's changed. I put my summer bedding on when I stopped at my storage unit in Dundee, and got my summer bedding on. The winter bedding was just too warm now at night. I've taken a wee bit of a risk going white. I've never had white sheets in here before. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. But I mean, I don't mind it, to be fair. It looks quite fresh, but it makes the rest of my white woodwork look really dirty. Even though I painted quite a lot of it recently, it just makes it look dirty because it's not pure brilliant white. It's kind of off-white, my cupboards and that. So it's a bit of a pain. But it looks clean and fresh. That'll do. You can't beat fresh, new, clean sheets, can you? Hidden away in the woods just outside Eventon lies one of Easteros's most dramatic natural landmarks, Black Rock Gorge. Carved over thousands of years by the rushing waters of the River Glass, the narrow chasm cuts deep through the landscape, with sheer cliffs rising almost 40 metres above the river below. And when we get to it, if it looks a little familiar, well, that's because parts of the gorge appeared in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Wow, I didn't realise I was literally walking above the gorge when I was coming across that bridge. Look at that! Wow! It's so narrow. Let's go right over it. Oh, right down that little gap. Oh no. Didn't fancy that. Oh, it looks spectacular. Wow. It looks so cool. Man, this really is something like out of a movie. It reminds me of some of the gorges in Switzerland, but it's just, this is all green. You know, Arschlucht Gorge, and the other one in Lauterbrunnen, the waterfall. Can't remember what it's called now. It's, you know, the way that the rocks are and the thin sort of passages and stuff like that. I mean, Arschlucht's massive, obviously, the big walkway around it, but it's just certain parts of it remind me of this. The difference is that this is just all green, and this really is movie-like, and you can understand why they filmed the Harry Potter, I think it was Goblet of Fire here. Oh, it's stunning. Oh, wow. Ooh, it's right there. Oh, it's gone all calm here. Oh. It's dry now. It's my clothesline. Yeah, it's dry. It's the best thing about these sort of microfiber towels. They're just dead handy and they dry so quickly. They're kind of essential for van life, not gonna lie. Stick this in the back, I think. Right, so slight change of plans today. I just went to the co-op there to grab myself a Red Bull before I head up Fyrish, and I bumped into two of my subscribers. They watch my they watch my episodes every Sunday. A couple were driving past. Thanks for stopping, it was a pleasure. But they just reminded me about the Pink House on Loch Glass, and it's only 15 minutes inland from here. It's a bit of a walk, you know, to get to it, but I've never seen it before. I've never been, so I really want to go and capture it, take some photos of it, and just take the walk out to it. I've got plenty of time today. The weather is going to turn this afternoon. It'll probably turn on me pretty shortly, but it's an opportunity. I mean, I'm not going to be back around here for God knows how long by the time this road trip's finished, so it's an opportunity I can't pass up whilst I'm here. So thank you very much for that reminder. I've just checked on maps, 14 minutes. I've stretched the legs already. I'm feeling good. I feel like I want to go for it, and I really want to see this unique sort of building that's just sitting right on the banks of Loch Glass. It's one of the most photogenic buildings probably in Scotland, really. Obviously you've got the two White Houses in Glencoe and stuff like that, and a few others, but this is one I just don't want to miss it. So we're going to Loch Glass. Tucked away on the shores of Loch Glass sits one of the Highlands' most unusual landmarks, the Pink House. Built in the early 1980s, this house was never completed after planning permission issues brought construction to a halt. As a result, nobody has ever actually lived here, leaving it as an empty shell overlooking the loch. Over the years, stories have emerged about who built it and why, but much of its history remains wrapped in local folklore and speculation. And if you look closely, you'll notice something very unusual. Many of the windows you see aren't actually windows at all, but painted on, adding to the illusion of a finished home. And perhaps that's part of the fascination. An unfinished folly, sitting alone beside a Highland loch, becoming every bit as famous as the landscape that surrounds it. Well, that was lovely. That was really good. And I was actually quite lucky because there's basically no parking. If you follow the sort of Google Maps, it takes you right up to basically the estate gates, but you can clearly see that they've got signs there saying no parking for large turning vehicles only. But there's a bit along the road where the entrance to the forestry goes, and there's a couple of spaces kind of kicking about there, which is fine, but you just can't block that gate. But I met someone local who was away to walk his dog. I met him when I was parking, just to ask, is it okay if I park here? And he said, yeah, I'm parked here just now. I'm away to do a little loop walk. says, what are you here for? And I said, I want to go and see the Pink House. And he was dead helpful. He basically said, well, it's actually a loop walk, the one that he's doing. So instead of going through the estate, I just walked through the sort of forestry. And it is a working forestry. There was guys going past in the tractors giving us a wave and stuff. They were brand new. We walked through the forestry and then you get a really nice view. Well, you've seen it, of the Pink House with the hills in the background. It was lovely. It was really, really good. Obviously, you'd have to go through the estate if you wanted to actually go right up to it, but I wasn't really that fussed about it anyway. I've heard it's pretty run down and a bit derelict, and you know, the windows are just painted on. You know, they're not really there. But it did look pretty, like maybe it had a fresh lick of paint. I don't know if that's because, you know, the guy mentioned that it was in that Traitors TV programme, which I didn't know. I know that the Fyrish Monument's used in it, but I didn't realise that house is in it. I mean, I just said that to the guy. I don't really watch terrestrial TV, you know, like TV programmes like that. I watch things on Netflix and Amazon Prime, like your sort of TV dramas and docu-series and things like that, but normal TV, I don't really watch. Just like live sport, really. You know, football, boxing, a bit of golf, occasionally rugby for like the Six Nations and the World Cup and stuff, but yeah, so I love my sport, but normal TV, like I don't watch the news. I haven't watched the news now for years, ever since basically the COVID lockdowns. I've never watched the news since. I just don't see the point in it, and it's all just so negative. Everything, the world's on fire constantly. I don't think it's good for your mental health, and even news outlets now have become so, like your mainstream sort of news, they've become so clickbaity as well. When you see the articles and stuff online, and you read the article and it's just it's completely different. It's just total nonsense. It's like rage baiting and all that kind of stuff. I just think it's pathetic. Just report the news, but report good news as well, you know, if you're going to report it. I'll never go back to watching it, to be honest. I've no interest in it. Like, and it's the same thing, you know what, this whole rage bait sort of clickbait nonsense, you see it on YouTube as well. Obviously I watch YouTube, but you do see it on YouTube quite a bit, and it actually really kind of annoys me. Like you'll know yourself, you've been watching, you know, my series, you've been following me from the start. I don't really do clickbaity sort of stuff. Like my thumbnails aren't clickbaity, you know, with the whole like, oh, Vanlife is over, and shut up, like all that nonsense, you know. Oh I'm quitting Vanlife because of this, and then it's like, I don't know, a bird on the roof or something like that during the night. Like, shut up. I've no time for all that kind of nonsense. And I think as well, for me, like if you've got an audience, sorry, I need to wait for this car in the passing place. That's the car park for the Fyrish Monument now. Looks pretty busy. I don't know if I'm going to get parked here today. We'll have to have a wee nosy. Right, I've got parked. But yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, I can't stand all that stuff with all the clickbaity sort of nonsense in it. I just feel like if you've got, you know, a decent sized audience, and I've got 25,000 or so subscribers on here, but I've got 800,000 across social media, and I kind of feel like if you've got an audience, you've got a bit of a responsibility to try and lead by example. And I do try and do that. Not perfect, obviously, but I do try and do that. And I just feel like a lot of, especially Vanlife pages and stuff like that, I feel like a lot of them almost look for controversy, or they're looking to sort of, or for clickbaity sort of moments and things like that. And I just don't agree with it. I remember there was one where it was like the thumbnail was them parked in their motorhome or whatever it was. And there's like no overnight parking signs. It's like, it's in the thumbnail. And it was like, should we park here or something? And then it was like, local and NC 500 rude to us or something like that. And they're like filming and trying to capture these moments, and it just stokes division, you know, and creates more animosity between the sort of local Highland communities that have to try and accommodate a huge amount of, you know, motorhomes and camper vans without really the level of infrastructure required. So I think we've all got a bit of a responsibility to try and do these things, you know, correctly, and especially if you've got an audience. So things like that really grind my gears, you know, and it is just pure clickbait, and it's just trying to cause controversy, and it doesn't help anyone at all for me. So I deliberately doing the complete opposite. That's not how I want this channel to sort of be. It's not about that at all. So I want to try and showcase the best of van life and the best of Scotland, and Scotland's coast in particular for this series. And I hope, you know, those that are watching feel that I'm doing that and doing it justice, you know. But anyway, time to check out this monument. I feel like there's going to be quite a few people up there the day. It is Sunday and it's 1:45 in the afternoon, so prime time. But I did want to go and see that pink house. I'm glad I did. I've never done this before, but I think there and back's around about 6 kilometres. So what's that? Just under 4 miles. It says on my watch should take around about 2 hours. Thereabouts, about 200, a couple hundred metres of ascent, I believe. So not much. I will see. It might take a little bit longer for me with all the filming and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's got quite a poignant story to it as well. Once we get there, tell you a little bit more about it. So you can hear me, I'm breathing a little bit. There's a little bit of a push near the start there, which is good. I think I set off a little bit fast, but I want to make it in time when I get to Loch Ness. I want to go to the Dalmore farm and pick up some fresh produce to cook tonight in the van. So I want to make sure that I finish this in good time, get there when it's still open. I haven't actually checked what time it's open till on a Sunday, so fingers crossed it is when I get there. But again, another beautiful woodland walk here. So humid today. Sweating my tits off already. It's good though. It's good to get the legs moving, especially now that I'm in the Highlands. I will be doing a fair whack of hiking on this road trip as I continue around the coast. Absolutely, so many amazing places to hike. I'm looking forward to taking you with me and showing you some of the views from the summits. Well, that is the rain coming on. And Tracy, who I met earlier that told me to go to the pink house, who reminded me about it, she did say I was going to get soaked. So if it gets any heavier, I think I'll put my waterproof on. I'm still powering up Now I've not stopped yet. I'm trying not to, just to build up my endurance slowly, because I've not hiked in so long. Last time I did any hiking was Switzerland last summer. I was there with my girlfriend, but we didn't do much hiking up. It was mostly down from the cable cars, and via ferratas and stuff like that. But yeah, I've not done any Munros, obviously been on this road trip, so I really need to build up my fitness again before I start taking them on. That's for sure. Aye, right, time for the waterproofs. I've had a wee break in the rain. This can come down. What a view here. Look at that. Of the Cromarty Firth. And you can see away down there the bridge that we came over earlier. I can see it now at the top of this path. Not far to go. A couple of 100 metres maybe. Happy days. So this is the Fyrish Monument. It's not the only one, there are others in the area. This is certainly the most famous, and it played a vital and necessary but also sad role in the Highland clearances. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. The monument was built in 1782 by Sir Hector Munro, a local landowner and former general in the British Army. It's said he was inspired by a gateway he had seen in India while serving overseas, which perhaps explains why it looks so unusual here in the Highlands. But for many people, the story of Fyrish isn't really about the monument itself, it's about the people who built it. At a time when work was scarce, local men were employed to carry stone and materials up this hill by hand, earning much needed wages to support their families. And according to local legend, whenever part of the monument was completed, some of the stones would be rolled back down the hill at the end of the day, forcing the workers to carry them back up again the following morning. But why did they do this? Well, it was to make sure that the work continued for as long as possible, and this legend has become inseparable from the story of Fyrish. Because behind this monument lies a much bigger story. Within a few decades, the Highlands would be transformed by the Highland clearances, as thousands of people were forced from the land their families had occupied for generations. And so, for many, Fyrish stands not just as a monument, but as a reminder of the Highland communities that once lived and worked here before everything changed. Well, that was just perfect. And look, the sun is shining again. What is it Billy Connolly said? If you don't like the weather in Scotland, wait 5 minutes. It's so true. Especially in summer, we just get all seasons. It's crazy, but it's nice and warm. Even when it was raining, it was so warm and kind of humid. I think people get a bit of a shock when they come to Scotland and experience a summer or a summer's day, because it is really hot and sticky and humid. I think it takes a lot of people by surprise that maybe live places where it's like you know, 85-90% humidity. Where I was today, right now, it's 96% humidity, and the other day it was 98%. So that just shows you how humid it is here. And 20 degrees here Celsius feels a lot hotter. It's more like 30 when you go abroad. I don't know what it is about the air here, but it's definitely warmer than it appears, which is why I never answer those questions. What's the temperature? Honestly, it really doesn't matter, because it doesn't feel like that when you're here. And we don't have air conditioning or anything like that. Our houses are designed to keep heat in, you know. So when it's 20-25 degrees here, it feels roasting, and when it goes over 30, it is absolutely boiling. And that is, what's 30 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? 86 to 90 or something like that. Gets to about that in the summer here. But it feels like 40. It feels like 110, 120. It does not feel like that compared to when you go to other countries. Definitely not. I've just taken a wee stroll back. It only took me 45 minutes to get up there, and that was with all the filming and everything. So it's definitely not a 2 hour sort of out and back. I wouldn't have said. Obviously it depends on your mobility levels and fitness levels and stuff like that, I suppose, but yeah, that was absolutely fine. I've got plenty of time to get back down and just take a stroll. I might even go for a wee run for the last wee kilometre or something, just to get some bit more movement into the legs. And then I think my next stop is the farm shop in Alness, Dalmore Farm, so hopefully it's open. Go and get myself some fresh produce, and then I'm going to get parked up in Invergordon, and that'll be me for the day. I think I'll cook up the whatever it is I get from the farm shop tonight in the van, get all the footage and that organised. My YouTube episode, the one from the Black Isle, the previous one, it's going out tonight at 6 o'clock like every other Sunday, so I'll be chatting live with those that can make it at 6 o'clock as well on the live chat, and watching it myself. So yeah, a nice wee end to the day, nice wee end to the week really, and we go again tomorrow, starting from Invergordon. Went up and down that wee hill, fairly rapid in the end. I feel like it's a nice sunny day now. I feel like a pint. Not gonna lie, I feel like just having a nice cold pint after that. You know, after getting rained on, being all sunny, it's kind of had a bit of everything. Feel quite energised. I just feel like a wee Sunday pint. And then I'll maybe find somewhere to either park up there, or I might just carry on to Invergordon like I planned and park up there and just grab some food from somewhere to eat back in the van. Some simple, I think, tonight then. Might go and do that. And it's 4:20, so I've only got an hour and 40 minutes before my YouTube episode starts, so I need to be back in the van and settled before then. So I nipped into the station bar in Alness, and it was a proper boozer. I got an awesome welcome from everyone in that pub, particularly from Zurhat, the owner of a local fish and chip shop, who was not letting me leave Alness hungry. We'll go in there first and then we'll do whatever.
Like, see my haggis?
Oh, look at that.
That's Coburn. And see the Coburn haggis is first award winning.
Oh, wow. Look at
So
that.
you keep that.
What? No, no, no.
Yeah. Have you not got a freezer there?
I do.
Yeah. Do you want me to get him to portion it for you? You can freeze it.
Huge.
Award-winning haggis, man.
I know.
It's not just the haggis.
Coburn's, is Coburn's in on this?
It's Dingwall, but they
Dingwall,
are absolutely the best. Nobody else is better than them.
Wow.
For your breakfast for tomorrow.
Oh.
Clean film it.
Honestly, cut this in half.
No, absolutely not. Mate, come on.
That's huge.
Honestly, there's haggis and there's Coburn haggis. Like the lady.
Right, honestly, that's more than enough.
No, that's not. Don't mess with the Turk, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're Turkish, but you're more Scottish than Turkish.
Yeah, man, this is my home.
I'm glad.
I love Scotland. People, just amazing. My wife is Scottish.
Your son is...
My son, my 3 kids.
Yeah.
I've got 3 kids and we go to Turkey for holiday and I'm like, Harry, I need to go home.
He's giving me a little battered haggis to try here. Gonna have to give it a wee taste. Oh man!
I told you, mate.
Coburn haggis.
Oh,
I've never had it before. That is fantastic. The batter's great as well.
is it? Aye, good.
So, as you know, I was going to go to the Dalmore farm shop. It is closed on the Sunday. Ended up meeting this man at the pub there when I went for a pint.
My day off, by the way.
Oh, Jimmy, what an absolute legend. Listen, thank you so much.
Honestly, thank you. Pleasure,
Honestly,
man. Honestly,
brilliant. It's brilliant to meet you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No, cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, it's the boating club parking. Right, let's have a look at this burger then, shall we? Right, I've just got parked up. It sounds pretty windy out there, but look at this burger. It looks superb. That is lovely. 2 basically smash burgers with bacon, cheese and peppercorn sauce. That's a combo. I'm really glad I met Sirhad just randomly in the pub. It's amazing how these things happen. The people you meet along the way. You know, who would have thought that I would have met owner of a chippy in a wee town like Alness in the pub when I'm having a pint. I'm going to struggle to eat this, honestly, after that haggis. He just refused to accept anything I was saying. He's like, no, you have to try it. Oh, brilliant. But honestly, if you're ever in Alness, pop in there. And if he's in there, you'll get a really good laugh. You really will. And yeah, listen, thank you so much. You didn't need to do that. And, you know, I really appreciate it. So, the freezer is full. Cheers again. Well, that's me just about to settle in now for the night. I've got my jammies on. I've done a bit of editing and scheduling on socials and stuff from my footage that I've taken today. A YouTube episode from the Black Isle's gone really well. I think it's the best performing video in the last 10 in the first couple of hours. It's had like 2,500 views already, which is really good. So yeah, fingers crossed that continues every week. I think I had like 350 people on when it went live at 6 o'clock as well at one point, which was superb, you know. Loved it. But I tell you what, it's calmed down now outside. There's less wind. And although the tide's gone out, I've got a lovely view here outside the van. I thought I would just show you it before I go to bed. Oh, lovely. It's a bit windy, but well, about the same as yesterday. Oh, what a lovely day. Ah. Just gonna check this sign here again. Welcome, bienvenue, welcoming on different languages, French, German, English. Invergordon Boating Club maintains this area at Roskeen. Parking is at owner's risk. Please leave only footprints. If you would like to donate towards the upkeep of the area, scan the QR code. Brilliant. I'm going to do that just now. Oh, this looks nice.
Are we having ice cream now? And you strikes again. When you come away with it.
Oh, eggs. Oh, duck eggs. Jesus, bacon. Well, what an absolute joy that was. I have to take my top off. It is roasting now out there. It's a really nice day. But what a pleasure that was at Dalmore Farm. It's really nice. It's so well laid out. They've done such a good job with the build. And I met Katie and her mum, the owners basically of the farm. It's a family farm, family business. And they were so lovely. I got a photo with them outside. And it was just great meeting you. So thanks very much. I did pick up some veg. And I hope to meet a gentleman called Eric Nimmons who's got Seafield Game later on. He goes around in a van and goes to different places selling game, meat, mostly venison. So I'm going to try and get a venison steak, and then tonight in the van I'm going to cook with it and combine it all, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be the perfect wee end to this day, definitely. And one of the things that really struck me about Dalmore as well, it's not just like a typical farm shop. That's what I was saying to Katie when I was inside. You've got your sort of cafe area, beautiful homemade, cakes. And then you've got your area where you've got all the fresh eggs and different jams and all that kind of stuff. Cheeses in the fridge section, just a whole array of different things. But then you've got like a full kind of shop with a whole host of different things, whether it's like candles or incense burners or, bath bombs and things like that. It kind of reminded me of like a small, like house of brewer that you get on up the A9 towards Inverness. It even had like a sort of clothing bit and stuff like that. Honestly, it's really nice. It's beautifully well laid out. And those duck eggs look absolutely amazing. And apparently they're better than hen's eggs. So I'm really looking forward to trying them, definitely. Apparently a lot more nutritious. But you've also got the area with all the animals and things like that as well. It was really nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. Who says dinosaurs don't still exist, eh? Look at that head. But it was just really nice laid out, all the space that they've got there and that. It's really, really good, and a great place to bring, like, if you have kids and stuff and you're in this area, it's perfect. They've even got a wee play park and stuff like that. Really well set up. I'm glad I made a point of coming here the next day. Fingers crossed, just gutted I didn't get a chance to meet Tom Stoltman, the 3 times world's strongest man. And he said, I would have loved to have met him, and he goes there for his breakfast regularly, I was told, but apparently he's on his way to Glasgow today with his wife Sinead, so I'm not going to get a chance to meet him. I would have loved to meet him. If I can get hold of his brother Luke, one half of the world's strongest brothers, then I'll definitely try and get a hold of him. I'm going to be going for a cold dip on this coast at some point, so it would be great if he was able to join me. That would be superb. But anyway, next stop, Invergordon. Oh, there's one of the murals there. You can see one of the penguins. So some of you might be wondering why I'm walking into a train station here. Well, it's because this is what I came to see in Invergordon, the off-the-wall murals, and they're all over town. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them. But first, let's scan the QR code and download the app. At first glance, Invergordon might seem like an unlikely place to find one of Scotland's largest collections of outdoor art. But scattered throughout the town are more than 20 murals, each one telling a different chapter in the story of this community. Known as the Off the Wall project, the murals began appearing in 2006 as a community-led initiative to celebrate local history, people and events. Together, they've transformed ordinary buildings into a giant open-air gallery, turning the streets of Invergordon into a place where history is impossible to ignore. Some celebrate local industries, others remember everyday life, but a few tell stories that are far more emotional. One mural in particular stopped me in my tracks, here at the train station. Known as the Long Goodbye, it tells the story of local men from the 4th Seaforth Highlanders. After surrendering at St Valery-en-Caux, hundreds of Highland soldiers began a long journey into captivity. The artwork follows their march through occupied Europe, depicting hunger, exhaustion, and the uncertainty of not knowing when they might return home. Elsewhere, another mural captures a moment many locals still remember today. Fire, Fire recreates the devastating blaze that destroyed the Royal Hotel in February 1973. For decades, the Royal had been one of the town's best known buildings, a place where people met, celebrated and gathered, but on one tragic night it was engulfed by flames and ultimately lost forever. What I love about these murals is that they don't focus on kings, castles or famous battles. They celebrate ordinary people, their memories, their hardships, their achievements and the moments that shape the town we see today. And after spending time walking these streets, it feels less like an art trail and more like a journey through the collective memory of Invergordon. And if the murals are the headlines of Invergordon's story, then the museum is where you come to discover the finer details. To really understand this town, a visit to the local museum is well worth the time. Housed inside the old Naval and Heritage Centre, it brings together the stories that have shaped the town over generations. From the area's maritime heritage and military connections to everyday life in the Highlands, the exhibits help put many of the murals and landmarks around the town into context. It's the kind of place where you arrive expecting a quick look around and end up staying for far longer than planned. What struck me most wasn't just the collection itself, but how much pride there is in preserving these stories. Because Invergordon's history isn't just about buildings or artefacts, it's about the people who lived here and the events that left a lasting mark on the town. And perhaps no event left a bigger mark than the one that took place right here in the Cromarty Firth in September 1931. At the time, Britain was deep in the Great Depression, and the government announced significant pay cuts for sailors serving in the Royal Navy. For many, reductions were simply too much. Anchored here in the Cromarty Firth, thousands of sailors found themselves facing cuts of up to 25%. In response, crews aboard several warships took the extraordinary decision to refuse orders. It became known as the Invergordon Mutiny, one of the most significant acts of industrial protests in British military history. Although the protests remained largely peaceful, the consequences were felt far beyond these shores. News of the mutiny shook financial markets, contributed to a crisis of confidence in the British economy, and forced the government to rethink some of the proposed cuts. Nearly a century later, it's still one of the most important events ever associated with this harbour town. Looking down from above, it's easy to see why Invergordon developed the way it did. Sheltered by the Cromarty Firth and blessed with one of the deepest natural harbours in Europe, the town has long been connected to the sea. Warships, fishing vessels, oil rigs and now cruise ships have all passed through these waters. Today, thousands of visitors arrive here every year to get their little taste of the Highlands. But spending time here has reminded me that places like Invergordon are far more than just a stop along the way. Behind the harbour lies a community shaped by resilience, industry and a deep sense of identity. A place where history isn't locked away in books, but painted onto walls, preserved in museums and remembered by the people who still call it home. And for me, that's often where the best stories are found. So right now I'm driving to a place called Nigg, and there's a couple of things that I want to see around about here. There's a very famous Pictish Trail. It takes you right up to like Portmahomack and Tarbat Ness Lighthouse and that. There's a Pictish Trail all the way, and there's a lot of really important stones and monuments and things like that here. And I've never seen them before. I've never explored this area. I've never driven up to Portmahomack before. I've usually just stayed on the NC 500 route, you would call it, and head up towards like Thurso or Wick and all that. But obviously this is the full coast I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to try and stick to the coast as much as possible. And there's the Tarbat Discovery Centre, which I want to go and check out and things like that too. So there's a whole bunch of things in this area I want to go and see. My first stop is the old Nigg church, and there's a very special stone inside there. Oh, there it is. Wow, look at that. Wow. The level of detail in this stone is absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, we went to Sweno's Stone, didn't we, in the episode up in Murray when I was at Forres, and then that's so tall and it's amazingly well preserved, but this is wow. And this was carved, erected in like the year 700 AD originally. It has had restoration work done to it, of course. It was actually outside originally, moved into the church but it is unbelievable. They've done such a good job of it. I mean, look at it. Wow. The level of detail. I like how my Celtic cross, it's actually quite similar. Look at it. Oh, amazing. And then obviously around the other side as well. A bit more traditional sort of Pictish symbols with the eagle and the Pictish beast below. And that Pictish beast we've seen before as well when I was in Fife, and I got a tour of the caves at East Weems by SWACS. It was by Sue, the Save Weems Ancient Cave Society. Those caves have the highest concentration of Pictish carvings anywhere in Scotland. And that was incredible. If you've not seen that episode and this sort of thing interests you, I would definitely recommend checking it out. But this is just unreal. Look at the detail. And there's lots of information boards, plenty to learn about it as well. And one important thing, do not touch the stone. Please give it a long life. And I'm going to go and check out the Poor Loft. Right, so what is this then? This loft is a time capsule, largely unchanged since it was closed off in 1853. There were poor lofts in many parish churches in Scotland. They were not built to provide seats for poor people, but were a way of raising money for the parish poor fund. Wow, that was honestly unbelievable. I'm so glad I decided to ignore the sort of traditional NC500 route and come all the way up here and into Portmahomack. Otherwise I'd have never come past this place and joined the East of Ross Pictish Trail. I mean, just look at the surroundings. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, someplace. Oh, next up, another stone, the Shandwick stone. I can actually see it here, the glass case. Similar to Sweno's in Forres, the big glass case. Is there parking here? Oh yes. Happy days. That's good that they've done that on this wee single track road. Great stuff. For over 1,000 years, the Shandwick stone has watched over this coastline. Carved by the Picts around the 8th century, it's one of the best preserved monuments of its kind in Scotland. The people who created it ultimately left behind no written records, but through stones like this, or the Nigg stone, or Sweno's stone in Moray, their artistry, beliefs and identity continue to endure. And what a bay to guard over. This is Shandwick Beach. And just a short distance from here along the coast stands the Mermaid of the North. The sculpture is inspired by one of the Tarbat Peninsula's oldest legends. The story tells of a fisherman who fell in love with a beautiful mermaid and stole her tail, preventing her from returning to the sea. She became his wife and together they had children, but years later she discovered where her tail had been hidden. Reclaiming it, she returned to the ocean, although local folklore says she continued to visit the shore, bringing fish for the children she had left behind. And just like the mermaid herself, the next stop is another connection to the peninsula's ancient past. This is a full-size replica of the famous Hilton of Cadbalstone, one of the finest examples of Pictish art ever discovered. The original now resides in Edinburgh, but its story begins right here on the Tarbat Peninsula. And to truly understand that story, there's no better place to visit than the Tarbat Discovery Centre in nearby Portmahomack. Housed inside the former parish church of Portmahomack, the Tarbat Discovery Centre tells the story of one of the most important archaeological discoveries ever made in Pictland. Excavations carried out here revealed that this wasn't simply a small coastal settlement. More than 1200 years ago, Portmahomack was home to a major Pictish monastery, a centre of learning, craftsmanship and religion that would have been known across northern Scotland. Archaeologists uncovered evidence of metalworking, manuscript production and finely carved stonework, helping to transform our understanding of the Picts and the sophistication of their society. For centuries, the Picts have often been portrayed as mysterious warriors on the edge of the known world, but discoveries here reveal something very different: a thriving community connected to wider networks of trade, culture and Christianity. The centre is also home to a remarkable collection of carved stones and artefacts recovered from the peninsula, helping bring to life the stories behind monuments like the Nigg stone, the Shandwick stone and the Hilton of Cadbalstone we just visited. And beneath the church lies another story entirely. In the crypt, local tradition tells of 3 members of the Mackay clan who sought refuge here during a bitter clan feud. Their enemies discovered them and rather than storm the chamber, are said to have set fire to the entrance, trapping the men inside, where they perished. It's a grim tale, but one that reflects the turbulent history that has unfolded across these shores over the centuries. Today, the Discovery Centre brings all of those stories together, from the Picts and medieval monks to clan rivalries and local folklore, making it one of the best places anywhere in Scotland to understand the remarkable history of the Tarbat Peninsula. Well, listen, I'm telling you right now, that is a proper hidden gem here at the Tarbat Discovery Centre in Portmahomack. Honestly, it's brilliant, the information and everything that you get there, the displays, the whole lot. There's got stuff for kids with like the sand pit for them to discover archaeology and things like that. Honestly brilliant. And Jackie, who was working there today, so friendly. Thank you very much. Right, so I'm just going to take a wee drive through Portmahomack. It's a place I've never been before, and there's a dolphin viewpoint along the front, so I'm going to go and check that out, see if I can find it, and hopefully I'm about to meet a local here called Eric Nimmons, who has a business called Seafield Game, and he goes around in his van and supplies various different places with things like venison. So if I get a chance to meet him, I'm hopefully going to catch him and get some venison to cook in the van tonight to go with some of the veg that I got at Dalmore Farm earlier today. Oh, it's a bonny wee place. Check this out. Well, I'm doing my best to try and spot some. Been using my phone as well to sort of zoom in. It's the easiest way to do it. It's like having a set of binoculars these days with a lot of phones. You can see all the rain over there at the other side, coming out of those clouds. I'm thinking that's pretty much the way I'm going to be going, away up the coast once I come back off this peninsula through Tane and heading up towards Wick ultimately, and John O'Groats in the most northerly point of mainland Britain, Dunnet Head. That must be that land, that must be what I'm looking at, I think. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure of it. Because it sort of goes back into Sutherland after Easter Ross, and then Caithness, and then as you go along the top, you go back into Sutherland again, and it's Sutherland. The majority of that sort of the northern tip of Scotland is Sutherland, but then of course you've got Westeros at the other side as well. It's a beautiful spot, this. Cracking wee spot. Don't know, is that Eric there? That's Eric. He's just pulling in here. Eric, how are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We steak for you?
Look at that. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, mate.
Aye, so how long have you done this for now then?
3 years.
3 years now, yeah.
2 years full time, and just busier and busier every day.
Superb. I didn't realise you were mobile.
Yeah.
You know, when it was someone that obviously tagged you in one of my posts,
Yeah.
and they, I just assumed it was going to be like a shop. So what areas do you tend to cover then?
Kind of Dornoch, Lairg, Bonar Bridge, Golspie, back down to like Strathpeffer and Conninbridge.
Superb.
Go to like other local markets and that, up like the Latherin show.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a farmer show and the Southern show as well.
Superb.
And just fill the back of the van, open the doors and sell as much as I can.
Brilliant. So see if someone watching, you know, a program, you know, if they want to get meat from you, like how do they do that? Is it like do you post where you are?
Yeah.
You know, on Facebook and stuff like that.
Just advertise where I'm going to be on Facebook.
Right.
And then people in that area can order or further afield and come meet me in that area. So,
Superb. Excellent.
One's down in Drumnadrocket, and they come over to Conninbridge on a Thursday to pick up off me.
All right. Okay. So you go right
So
far down there.
If I
Yeah.
go to Conninbridge, they come up, you know. So.
Oh, superb. No, listen, thank you very much for that. I got some stuff from Dalmore as well that I picked up.
Yeah,
Just some veg and stuff, so I'm going to cook with this in the van tonight.
Nice.
Brilliant. No, listen, can I get a wee photo?
Of course, mate.
Yeah, let's get a wee photo with that in the background.
I've known you for months.
No way.
And then I saw you about Thursday, Friday night. You were posting in Cromarty, and I thought, well, we're going up there for 2 weeks. I wonder if we'll see you. So
That's crazy.
And then the Scottish guys who've been talking to you in pub, and we were talking to him,
yeah,
and
they
he
drove
said,
past.
Yeah, Big Al.
Yeah.
He said, oh yeah, he's down there. So I said, oh, I must go and say hello.
No, that's a pleasure. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Do you want me to try it?
No, yeah, go on then.
Come on then. You want to come in as well?
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, wonderful.
Brilliant. Well, lovely to meet you both.
And you.
Yeah, you
It's
too.
wonderful. We're really enjoying it.
No, that's
It's just
grand.
brilliant. So yeah.
No, thank you.
Safe travels.
Thank you very much. The more time I've spent on the Tarbat Peninsula today, the more I've wondered why so many people simply drive past places like this on their way further north. From ancient Pictish stones and local legends to hidden stories and friendly faces, this small corner of Easter Ross has been full of surprises. But with some fresh local venison from Eric and produce picked up earlier in the day from Dalmore Farm, it's time to find a spot for the night, get dinner on and enjoy one final evening on this remarkable stretch of coastline. And for me, that place to settle in was the Tarbat Ness Lighthouse. Right folks, so it is time to cook, and I have really been looking forward to this over the last sort of hour or two. I've got those beautiful venison loin steaks from Eric Nimmons at Seafield Game. Thank you very much again for that, Eric. Now I did pick up some veg when I was in the Dalmore Farm as well. For a start, this giant leek I can't even get it all in the shot. To come away back here. Look at the length of it. It's absolutely massive. So I've got a leek. What else do I have? I got an onion from them as well. I got some carrot. Where's the other carrot? Did I only get one? Maybe I only got one. And I've got some sweet potatoes. I actually got them out of the shop the other day, so they need eating. Otherwise I would have got some more at the farm shop. And I did also pick up, there wasn't any broccoli at Dalmore Farm. I didn't see any anyway. So I picked up some broccoli. And I think what I'm going to do, is that the only carrot I got? I surely bought more carrots. No, I didn't. Oh, I thought I brought more. Oh well, that's fine. I've got some tomatoes here as well. Again, I picked them up in the shop days ago, so I need to eat these. I hate food going to waste. So if I have bought stuff, I'll always tend to get it used and get it ready. And yeah, I bought them from normal shops, but sometimes you have to do that. It depends where you are. I'm going to get all that cooked. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the carrot and the sweet potato, and I'm going to boil them just a little bit just to soften them slightly, and then I'm going to stick all the veg, just like a wee medley, in my Omnia oven and kind of just roast them, if you like. I might put a little bit of salt and pepper, maybe a bit of garlic. I've not got any like sauces or anything like that. I just want to taste that venison, you know, fully. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Going to get stuck into that, and I'll time lapse this now. Oh, brilliant. And that is just salt and pepper on the venison. I've not added anything to it. I added a little bit of garlic stuff to the vegetables as well. That venison's delicious. It's so soft. Like and subscribe for more van life adventures.